We have some pretty damning audio here. This is a recording by a New York City officer named Michael Birch. He secretly recorded this in 2012. The supervisor is Captain Konstantin Sakis, and he appeared to scold the officer for not racially profiling black men. So the New York Daily News initially broke this story, and Gawker got the audio. Let's listen to it.
Who commits the crimes in this situation? Who commits the crimes? Well, it's mostly teenagers, anywhere between the ages of 15 and 19, mostly male, blacks, and Hispanics.
Okay. Who are you stopping?
Everybody. I stop everybody.
54 tags up to 820.
Mm-hmm.
25 of those are female. Tags.
Okay. Like I said, I stop everybody. I'm not targeting anybody. First of all,
well, you just told me who bad guys are.
Yeah, I know that, but there's also other people who are committing violations as well. I'm not saying that there's not violations being made.
Male blacks that you commit the crime.
Plenty of people that write summonses too are male blacks and male Hispanics.
Male blacks.
Not for the whole year, and I have. You're telling me for the whole year, I only stopped 2 male blacks for summonses.
820.
No.
January 1st, August 20th. 54 tags. 2 male blacks. 7 Hispanics, 7 other, 10 whites, 3 Asians. So where are you targeting the perp that you just told me?
Well, like I said, if I don't see a perp jumping over the turnstile, what am I supposed to do to him? That's what I'm saying.
These people are not going to pop.
How do I know that?
80% chance
a female Hispanic that I stopped, that she said they did pop, actually, for a warrant, and I arrested her. Female Hispanic. The Hispanics that were supposed to be going up, that are committing the crimes. The people that I...
You think that she's going to pop?
Did I think she was going to pop? I didn't put no thought into it. If you come up and you're getting, and you'll come up a collar, I'm taking you in.
This is what I see. You describe to me who's committing the crimes, you're fully aware of it. We're not targeting those people.
I'm targeting everybody.
2 male blacks.
Whoever's out there. If I catch...
So you only saw 2 male blacks jump the turnstile?
If you're saying that's what's in front of you, then yes, that's all I saw. There's 2 male blacks for the whole year jumping the turnstile. That's what you're saying is in front of you. I'm not disputing that. You're saying that's what I got there?
That's what you have. That I'm not disputing here.
Well, I'm saying, but we also talking Hispanics as well. I stopped a lot of Hispanics too.
7 male Hispanics, but more than half are females.
And like I said, everybody's committing violations in front of me.
All right, here's why that's so troubling. The officer is telling the supervisor, okay, I arrested people, I went after people who I saw commit a crime, specifically jump over the turnstile. So what that means is that gate thing for the subway, you go in and it's one at a time. So some people jump over it. You're committing a crime, you can't do that. So this officer says, I stopped the people who jumped over it and committed a crime. And in some cases, you do a check on them. Oh, this person has a warrant, and then you can arrest that person. The supervisor's mad because this person only stopped 2 male blacks out of 54 people stopped in a certain time span. It was a month or a few months or something like that. It was from the beginning of the year to whatever point this happened. So the officer keeps insisting, you only stopped 2 male blacks. Like, who commits crimes? And then, the response from the officer is, well, statistically, it's male black, male Hispanic, so on and so forth. And then he's like, right. So the supervisor's like, right. So why'd you only stop 2 male blacks? And the officer's like, because I guess in this case, if you have the numbers in front of you, you tell me. I only saw 2 male blacks jump the turnstile. Like, what do you want me to do? You just want me to stop random male blacks and fucking arrest them? Or like, what are you saying? He's like, well, you're telling me who's committing the crimes, but you only stopped 2 of the demographic that's committing the crimes. And the officer's like, but in this case, those statistics did not hold true. There were only 2 male blacks that committed the crimes. The other people were not male blacks. In fact, half of the people who jumped the turnstile were female. So I went after them because they committed the fucking crime. He's like, yeah, but you only stopped 2 male blacks. Yeah, but okay, so notice what's happening. The supervisor is saying, I don't care about the reality of the situation and who actually committed the crimes. I'm so wedded to the macro statistics that it's going to be all confirmation bias, and I'm going to look to try to meet those statistics in reality. So if on a macro level, male blacks and male Hispanics commit more crimes, I want you to arrest more male blacks and more Hispanics no matter what. So even if the statistics totally change and in a given month more white males, for example, commit crimes, they're like, I don't care. Target the male blacks, target the male Hispanics. See, this is the problem. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is what we've spoken about endlessly on the show. Like, and I have an interesting perspective on this because I grew up in New Rochelle, New York, very diverse. And whenever you went to, parties in high school in the north end of New Rochelle, which is the more white, affluent end of New Rochelle, you could literally get away with anything. So one of my friends' parties, you could do keg stands in the front lawn, smoke weed out in the open. There could be hundreds of people, super loud in this suburban area. Okay, that friend literally lived next to a judge. Never had the cops called on us. Never. Literally do keg stands on the lawn, smoke weed out in the open, people fucking in bushes. Crazy, debauchery. Never had any problems. Now you go to the south end of New Rochelle, you could be minding your business, smoking weed on the front porch. Fucking cops roll up, tackle you, boom, you got a record. Your life is done. Much harder to get a job. You go into prison. You unfortunately become hardened by the system. It doesn't rehabilitate anything. You just become more hardened. So look at what happens. When you only police blacks and Hispanics, shocker, you're going to find more crimes there. It's like with stop and frisk. How many Wall Street bankers got a stop and frisk? How many? How many had it? That's a serious question. How many had it? I mean, what, you don't think some of them have illegal pills on them, cocaine, but they're not busting them. They're not busting them because they have power. Because you're a white male with a suit and tie, so I'm not getting involved with that. Let me go target some young black people or young Hispanic people. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You over-police certain areas, and then you find more crimes in those areas. Then the statistics show male blacks, male Hispanics commit more crimes. Yeah, but you only focused on those areas. What, so you see what happens? And it even is so ridiculous now, it's at the point where the officer is literally telling the supervisor, I stopped everybody who committed a crime. Whatever, for this month or whatever it was, only 2 of 54 were black males. And the officer's like, you need to stop more black males. Well, then this is exactly what the black community has been complaining about for years, and they're right. And they're right. And look, I got more for you because you could say, well, this is just one case. Maybe that doesn't really generalize. Okay, you ready for this? With stop and frisk, there was a glaring problem. Quote, an independent study of the city's stop and frisk program found that 87% of the 686,000 stops in 2011, a record high, were blacks and Latinos. Young black men between the ages of 14 and 24 were stopped 106% of the time, as in there were more stops of young black men than the entire population of young black men. Stop and frisk had a 90% failure rate in 2011, and in the first 3 months of 2013, when the number of stops fell by 51% from the same period last year, the crime rate dropped. Okay, understand that. Let me explain exactly what that means. Okay, there were more stops of black males than there are black males in the city. So they're all experiencing it. They all know what it's like to be targeted by the cops. Now, this is where people turn around and they go, yeah, but they deserved it. They deserved it. That you're targeting them because they commit more crimes. 90% failure rate. 90% failure rate. And then when they stopped doing them, and when the numbers fell, crime also fell. So it's not like it's stopping crime. We have the evidence. It's not stopping crime. Okay, and then also, a study by the city's own public advocate found that stops of white people were twice as likely to yield a weapon and a third more likely to yield some form of contraband as compared to stops of black people. Now, understand, that's not because white people commit more crime and are just more guilty. That's not what that means. It's because the cops are more likely to treat the white people as humans and view them as individuals and not as a collective group. So they see them and they internalize the statistics like we just spoke about in this clip that I played for you. And they go, well, they commit less of the crime, so let's just stop them less often. So when they do happen to stop them, they think, oh no, I think something's really off with this guy, because they look at his actions as opposed to just his profile. And then with black people, it's just, no, just stop them because they generally fit the profile. So, okay, just stop them. Even to the point where an officer could tell the supervisor, they didn't commit the crimes for me in this instance. Only 2 of the 54 were black males. And the officer's like, yeah, but you gotta stop the black males because they commit the crimes. I'm telling you, they didn't commit the crimes in this instance. But you gotta stop more black males. So they forgot the question. The answer is stop black males. And you wonder why the black community feels like they're living under police occupation. And you wonder why the black community gets mad at law enforcement. Well, perhaps they're not all just complainers and it's based on absolutely nothing. Perhaps there's a little something to it and we should all understand it.